In the stillness of this very moment, I speak into your spirit and I whisper what has been waiting for you since before you took your first breath, for there has never been an accident in the way your path has been laid out, and though storms have surrounded you and doubts have clouded your sight, I have always been beside you, carrying you through valleys you did not know you were crossing, lifting you above waters that sought to swallow you, and placing light before your feet when darkness pressed in from every side. And now you have come to this instant, this divine appointment where the veil between what you see and what I see grows thinner, and I pour out upon you a message that is not of chance, not of coincidence, but of certainty, of eternal design, for I have chosen you to receive this word, and I call you to listen with the ears of your heart, to let every syllable fall like dew upon your soul, softening the dry ground within you and causing life to bloom again, for you have prayed in silence, you have cried in secret, you have wondered whether anyone heard, whether anyone cared, but I assure you, every tear has been collected, every cry has been noticed, every question has been received, and though you did not always perceive the answer, I have always been answering, weaving together a story too vast for you to comprehend in a single glance. And today I bring you assurance that your miracle is already unfolding even as these words reach you, for time bends to my will, and what you thought was delayed is not denied, and what you thought was broken is being rebuilt in a form stronger, purer, and more beautiful than before, and what you thought was lost has never truly left, for I hold all things in my hand and nothing slips away from me, and I bring restoration in ways you cannot predict. I bring healing in layers deeper than flesh and bone. I bring peace that rises above all understanding, and I release it into you now as you open yourself to my voice. For the burdens you have carried were never meant to stay chained to your shoulders, and the weight that has pressed you down has reached its appointed end, and I speak release over you, I speak freedom over you, I speak newness of life over you, because the season you are entering is not one of despair but of breakthrough, not of emptiness but of abundance, not of loss but of increase, and I will show you signs that confirm what I am saying, subtle yet undeniable signs, so you may walk forward. Not in fear but in confidence, for you are not alone, you are never abandoned, you are never forgotten, you are mine and I delight in you, I rejoice over you with songs you cannot yet hear, and I surround you with love that cannot be taken away. For even when you stumble, I remain, even when you fall, I lift, even when you wander, I pursue, because my covenant with you is not fragile, it is not temporary, it is everlasting, and you are sealed in it by my promise which cannot be broken, and I am telling you now to rise again, to breathe again, to hope again, to believe again, because the miracle is not only near, it is here, it is already in motion, and you will see doors open that you thought forever closed, you will find favor where once there was rejection, you will walk into rooms prepared for you before you knew they existed, and I will astonish you with my goodness, for my plans toward you are not small, they are not cruel, they are not hopeless, they are filled with a future. Filled with hope, filled with light, filled with abundance, and though the world may speak against you, though people may doubt you, though shadows may whisper lies to your mind, my truth will always stand taller, and my voice will always be louder, and my love will always be stronger, and I will remind you again and again that you were made with intention, that you were crafted with care, that every detail of your being carries the fingerprint of divinity, and you are a vessel chosen not by chance but by design, and even the struggles you endured, even the pains you survived, even the losses you grieved, none of them were wasted, for each has become a seed that will grow into wisdom, into compassion, into strength, into testimony, into the very foundation of the destiny you are walking into now, and you will testify not only of survival but of victory, not only of endurance but of joy, not only of scars but of healing, and the light of your story will become a torch that ignites hope in others, for I do not work in you only for your sake but for the sake of those you will touch, those you will love, those you will inspire, those who will see your life and believe again, and you will be surprised by how many are waiting for the shine of your breakthrough, for you are not invisible, you are not forgotten, you are not worthless, you are radiant in my sight and precious beyond measure. And though the world may assign labels, though voices may condemn, I declare over you a name greater than all others, a name rooted in eternity, beloved, chosen, redeemed, restored, and nothing will remove this name from you. And as you hear these words, let hope rise within you, let fear crumble, let doubt loosen its grip, let despair release you, because a shift is happening in the unseen, and though you may not yet see the full picture, though you may not yet hold the full promise, trust that the process is alive, that the miracle is breathing, that the answer is nearer than you think, and that the blessing is rushing toward you like the dawn that cannot be stopped. And I remind you to open your hands, for clenched fists cannot receive, but open palms receive freely, and I call you to trust, to surrender, to yield, not because I take joy in your letting go, but because I long to fill you with more than you can carry, more than you can imagine, more than you thought possible, and I assure you that as you open your heart, you will find me already waiting there. You will discover peace blooming, joy rising, strength filling you, and faith stirring like a flame that will not be extinguished, for I have placed within you a light that no darkness can overcome, and this light will guide you through the coming days. This light will remind you that no matter what storms rise, no matter what voices shout, no matter what trials appear, you are safe in me, for I am your refuge, I am your provider, I am your healer, I am your shepherd, I am your strength, I am your Father, I am your friend, I am your God, and I do not fail, and I do not abandon, and I do not lie, and every word I have spoken will come to pass, and every promise I have made will be fulfilled, and every good work I have begun in you will be completed, and you will see with your own eyes the faithfulness you once only believed in, and your heart will overflow with gratitude, and your voice will sing songs of joy, and your spirit will soar higher than you have ever known, because I am not finished with you, I am just beginning, and the best chapters of your story are still to be written, and they will shine brighter than you can comprehend, and the miracle you have been waiting for is already unfolding before you, and you will see it, and you will know it, and you will rejoice in it, for I am faithful, and I love you beyond all measure, and I will never let you go. And so I continue to speak, and as I speak I bend time to bring clarity to the corner of your life that has been dim. I pour light into the crevices of your heart where fear made its home. I breathe courage into places that have grown numb from waiting, and I call you to take one step, and then another, and then another, for motion breaks the hold of paralysis, and with each step you will find more strength than you assumed you possessed, and the path before you will become clearer as you move. As if unseen hands are guiding your feet to stones placed perfectly beneath you so you will not stumble, and although you may feel small and insufficient, know that I equip the called, I empower the willing, and I multiply what appears to be little into abundance beyond measure. And do not be surprised when I use the simplest things to accomplish the greatest wonders, when a whispered prayer becomes a chorus, when a single seed becomes a harvest, when a small act of kindness reverberates into a tapestry of transformation. And remember that miracles do not always thunder. Sometimes they arrive as a whisper, a gentle turning of the heart, a sudden peace that settles, a reconciliation that heals, a door that opens where there was once only a wall, and you will come to recognize my fingerprints in places you would least expect, and you will learn to read the language of grace in the ordinary, for I am a master of surprise. I delight in outdoing expectations, and I love to use what the world calls insufficient to display my sufficiency, so when you encounter what looks like impossibility, do not fold, do not despair, do not retreat, but lean forward, for my power meets you there and turns impossibility into testimony. And I tell you now to keep a notebook of small mercies, for they will become proof to your soul on days when doubt returns. Write down odd coincidences, tiny answers, brief moments of resolve, unexpected kindnesses, and later, when the full miracle comes, you will look back through those pages and see the invisible thread that wove everything together. Listen, therefore, to the small stirrings within you. They are not insignificant. When your heart tightens with longing, that is the language of promise preparing to be fulfilled. When you are restless, that is the herald of movement and change approaching. When tears rise unbidden, they are not only sorrow but also the softening of soil where new seeds will sprout. Allow yourself to feel, to grieve, to hope, to dream without shame, for emotion is not weakness but the currency of a life being made whole. Reject the lie that you must be stoic to be spiritual. Vulnerability is the entrance into intimacy with me and with others, and your honest heart becomes the vessel through which redemption flows, and as you practice tenderness toward your own wounds, you become more able to receive healing and to pour that healing into others. Forgive where you have been wounded, not because the injury becomes insignificant, but because forgiveness unshackles you from the prison of bitterness. I know the faces of those who hurt you, I know the names and the places, and I hold them in my sight, but your willingness to forgive is the key that opens the door to your own freedom. Forgiveness is not forgetting, it is remembering without the weight, and as you release anger and resentment, you make room for joy to return, and healing will move in to rebuild what was broken. If forgiveness feels impossible right now, begin small, bless, pray a short sentence, release one memory, and watch as the knot begins to loosen, and trust that I will help you even when you cannot muster the strength yourself, for my grace meets you in that place and completes what you cannot. Do not be surprised when relationships shift. Some will be refined by fire and grow stronger. Some will fall away because they were never meant to walk with you into the new season, and that is not always loss but often protection. Release expectations about who must stay and who must go. My pruning is both mercy and wisdom, and I will surround you with the right people at the right time, those who will encourage you, stretch you, love you, and reflect my truth back to you. Guard your heart by choosing depth over breadth in relationships. A few honest companions are worth more than 1,000 superficial acquaintances. Nurture those connections that echo long-term, that withstand storms, that celebrate your wins and mourn your losses, and be willing to invest time, presence, and mercy into them, because the miracle you receive will be sweeter when shared. Open your hands to giving, for generosity invites circulation into a life that feels stuck. Give of your time, your resources, your attention, your encouragement. It does not have to be extravagant. Small acts done with great love carry weight in my economy. When you give, you mirror the heart from which all blessings flow, and generosity releases a flow that returns to you blessed and multiplied. Remember that giving is a posture, not a transaction. Give without bargaining, without expecting exact returns, and watch how abundance rearranges the details of your days. Do not hoard because of fear. Steward what you have with wisdom, but do not let fear dictate the distribution of your gifts. The miracle before you involves not only receiving but also releasing, for what goes out often carries the seeds of what comes in. Listen carefully to the impulses of courage that rise within you. They are echoes of my voice encouraging you toward obedience. Courage is not the absence of fear but the choice to act despite it. When you feel prompted to speak, to reach out, to apologize, to try again, to step into service, heed that impulse. The smallest act of obedience can set the stage for a great reversal. I am not looking for perfect actions but for available hearts. Perfection paralyzes, willingness liberates. So be willing, willing to try, willing to fail, willing to learn, willing to be reshaped, and I will take your willingness and turn it into skill, into artistry, into destiny. Expect clarity to come gradually. Revelation often unfolds in layers. Do not discard small revelations because you hunger for the full map. The path sometimes reveals itself one footstep at a time. Attend to what you already know to do, and I will show you the next step. Keep a posture of readiness. Prepare in small ways for the larger things. If you desire blessing in your vocation, polish your craft, cultivate discipline, seek wise counsel, and practice humility. If you long for restoration in relationships, show up, listen, and speak truth in love. If you hope for health, begin with consistent small choices that honor your body, rest, water, movement, and seeking help when needed. The miracle is not always a single, dramatic bolt. Often it is many small faithful decisions woven into a tapestry of wholeness. Speak words of life over yourself. Words are creative, they shape the inner landscape and steer the course of action. When you speak defeat, you invite more of it. When you speak hope, you birth scenes of hope. Declare truth about who you are and who I say you are. Say it aloud: you are loved, you are seen, you are more than your mistakes, you have value that cannot be quantified, and your future is bright. Do not let the narrative of past failures drown out the song of redemption. Replace accusations with declarations of identity. Let your mouth be an instrument that harmonizes with my voice, for when your words align with my truth, you accelerate the manifestation of my promises in your life. Hold fast to gratitude in the interim. Gratitude is a magnet for miracles. It changes perception and prepares your heart to receive. Even in waiting, find 3 small things each day to thank me for: sun on your face, a call from a friend, a moment of unexpected rest, and watch as your eyes begin to notice more blessings. Gratitude does not deny pain, it acknowledges pain and still chooses to see the goodness that remains. That practice will soften your heart, enlarge your faith, and prime the soil for the miracle that's coming. Be patient, but not passive. Patience is not idle endurance, it is active trust. It is tending, working, praying, and believing while the unseen is at work. It is persistence that refines character. Use the waiting to develop virtues that the miracle will require: humility, endurance, compassion, discernment, courage, so that when the blessing arrives, you will steward it well. Do not rush the refining process. The metallurgy of the soul takes its appointed time to remove impurities and strengthen the core. Celebrate progress, however small, and let each step in growth be a victory. Count not only outcomes but also character as evidence of movement. Watch for doors that open unexpectedly. They may not be the doors you envisioned, but often I redirect to a better room. Resist the temptation to insist that the blessing must appear in a certain shape. Flexibility invites greater possibilities. If your path shifts, consider whether this is a divine rerouting rather than a detour. I am never limited by your schema. I surpass your plans for reasons you will one day celebrate. When anxiety rises, bring it to me. Cast your cares, and practice the discipline of breathing gentleness into your chest. Take long, steady breaths and remember the truth that you are held. Replace frantic rush with mindful pause. In stillness you can hear more clearly. Silence is not empty, it's fertile. In silence, I speak to the deeper places, and your soul learns to recognize my cadence. Create moments of stillness each day. Even 5 minutes of focused breathing and listening will recalibrate your spirit and sharpen your sense of direction. Dream boldly once more. Dream like a child who believes the impossible is possible because no one has told them otherwise. Allow imagination to play, to picture the healed body, the reconciled relationship, the flourishing work, the children dancing under a tree of provision. Dreams reawaken possibilities and align your desires with my heart. Write your dreams down, speak them to trusted companions who will pray with you and for you. When you articulate hope, you invite allies and align heavenly intention with earthly action. Guard against comparing your timeline with others. Each life moves according to a tapestry woven by my hands, unique in timing and color. When you compare, you miss the slow, sacred shaping of your own story. Celebrate others, but do not steal their season. Your miracle has its own rhythm, and it will come at the appointed moment, exact and perfect in detail. Stand firm in integrity. The blessing that lasts is the blessing steward with moral strength. Be honest, be fair, be gentle. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Character is currency in my economy, and your faithfulness in small things prepares you for greater responsibility. If you are tempted to take shortcuts, remember that shortcuts can lead to dead ends. The long, honest path may be harder now, but it secures your future. Keep your heart tender toward the hurting. Your own journey toward restoration equips you to be a conduit of mercy for others. When you have been mended, you will recognize others' broken places, and your story will become the bridge they cross to hope. Let compassion be your signature, let empathy guide your actions. The miracle you receive will have ripple effects far beyond what you imagine, bringing healing not only to you but through you. Prepare for celebration. The joy that accompanies my handiwork is not frivolous, it is sacred. Rehearse thanksgiving now as if the miracle has already happened. Sing, dance, write notes of gratitude, plan a meal to share. These acts form the atmosphere in which miracles are acknowledged and multiplied. When the moment arrives, you will be ready to receive with an open, grateful heart and to share the overflow with those around you. Finally, remember that miracles are not the end of the story but the beginning of a new chapter of stewardship, gratitude, and deeper relationship with me. The miracle opens a door, yes, but how you walk through it, humble, thankful, wise, determines the fruit that follows. So receive with humility, walk with integrity, love with abandon, and give with joy. I am with you in every step, and my delight is to lead you into good things. The miracle you seek is nearer than your fear allows you to believe, and as you continue to trust and obey and love, you will see my faithfulness unfold in ways that will fill your life with wonder. Keep your eyes on me, keep your hands open, and move forward in the certainty that I am working all things together for your good, and your miracle is on its way.